Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another ESO build video. Haven't done one of these in quite a while, so I'm hoping to get back into these. I've got a Nightblade build that's in the works as well, so stay tuned for that. Today we're going to be talking about the Magica Sorcerer for the PvP. Works for duels, open world, citadels, sewers, battlegrounds, you name it. This is viable for all content. Works really well for duels as well. A lot of sustain, a lot of survivability, and great burst damage on top of it. It relies on a very specific set of skills that you do in sequence, basically to get everything to proc simultaneously and just do massive amounts of damage. So I'm going to make this as quick and as short and sweet as possible. First, going over gear, skills, and then a rotation. I will also briefly go over the champion points and some of the passes you may need. So first off, what everybody's going to look to see first, the gear. We're running Seducer on both bars with a Resto staff and a Infernal staff. You can go with any enchantment you'd like here. I like the Infuse for the double proc, but you can go with Precise if you want more crit. You can go with Sharpen if you want more pen. Nernhove if you just want burst damage. You want to up that spell damage as much as you can. You'll notice I don't have a whole lot of spell damage. We do have a lot of mag recovery and sustain, along with a lot of max mag to go along with it. First set, Seducer, 5-piece. We're running it on the staves, and then we're also going to run Crafty Elfiques. So the way I do this is I got the 2 stabs of Seducer just because they're easier to get. Chest and gloves and legs of Seducer to give you the 5-piece. Then I normally just go with whatever you can get. Now you want to go with in-pen with as much of, if not all of this as you could. I was a bit cheap and didn't want to go with the in-pen for a Crafty Elfiques. That is expensive. So if you find an easier way to get it, by all means. We're going to try stat on the legs and the chest. Just for that little extra health. It does help us in duels and BGs quite a bit. Citadel, you're pushing 25, 26k max health, which is nice and comfortable. I find I can sustain and play really well with that. Monster set for this build, I'm using Valken Scoria, just because I find it's a little more reliable. Yeah, it's not going to proc insanely often, but 12k tool dip and an additional 5.2k damage. Not really worried about 5.2 because they're not going to be in it anyway. That's more along the lines for bosses and stuff like that. Doesn't really play into effects. The initial burst damage. This is going to be a burst build. You're going to want to do as much damage as possible. So, you can run Zons here if you like. Zons is good. Gives you the extra spell crit. If you're fighting close, go with Zons. If you're going to be fighting at any kind of range, go with Valken Scoria. It is situational. But I do prefer Valken Scoria, just because when it does proc, it hits for a lot of damage. Zons outperforms it up close by far. However, if you're within 8 meters of it, it breaks if you go outside. And 8 meters is not a big distance when you're talking about a mag sort that plays at range. So I prefer to run Valken Scoria. If you like to play up close, then switch this to Zons. Or if you want, you can go with Iceheart for more survivability or Bloodspawn. Totally up to you. This is your flex spot when it comes to gear. Valken Scoria is what I choose. Jewelry, I'm running 1 spell damage, 2 recovery. You could by rights change this to an infused spell damage if you want to give you a little extra boost. I prefer the recovery, and the max magicka gives you a little bit more damage because your spell damage isn't that high. Character sheet, we're running at about 53k max magicka with 1600 recovery. That's not bad. Max health 18.5, max stam 15.6. Not a whole lot of recovery either way, but it's still decent. Spell damage 1689, which is not really relevant anyway because your spell damage is basically, it's going to scale off of your max stat anyway, so sitting around 42k max magicka, your spells are hitting fairly hard. We are stage 4 vampire. Now this will change with the next patch. once I get an update. I am on the PS4, so we don't even have access to a live server or anything like that. So once this changes, I will give an update. But for now, stage 4 Vampire. Mage for your Mundus, just for the extra max Magica. And we are running the Bewitched Sugar Skulls for that tri-stat and the health recovery. Not so much for anything else. If you want, you can switch just to Clockwork Citrus Fillet. You will get a little more mag recovery if you're struggling with sustain. I don't use it. It's not even on this character. I don't see the point in running it. I'm actually out of Sugar Skulls as well. But you can run anything that you feel. You can run just flat tri-stat, which one is Potent Brew if you want some cheaper mag recovery. Your max stats will suffer because of it. Now, onto the skills. Front bar, this is our Infernal Staff. We are going to be running Crystal Frags. Bread and butter hits like a truck, and when it procs, it really hits like a truck. Endless Fury, this is your execute. Hits for a shitload when their health drops full 20%, and it will fast. Unless you're going against a DK that's just shield stacking like crazy, or Mag Sorc, and even Mag Sorcs, you can burst through their shield fairly quickly. I've fought quite a few Mag Sorcs in the last little while. It does hit hard. Harden Ward just for sustainability and that big shield. 11k shield. Use it. Keep it on you at all times. Don't let this drop off. A lot of people... Now, I mean, you can. Like, if you're not in dire fight. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're in a fight, never let this drop off. It is going to save your ass. If it burns through too fast, we have coverage for that. That's on the back bar. Haunting Curse hits for 11.5k. Then it haunts them. So you're not looking for the initial proc, you're looking for the second one. The last proc is what we're going to try and filter this around, which is basically going to prop their health to go real low real fast. Because you're going to get the initial 11.5k, then it deals in another 5k over, in the next 3.5 seconds. After the end, so you need to let it end. Don't spam cast this. Let it fall through. You don't need to waste the Magica. It is fairly expensive at 2200 Magica. When this procs for the third time after 8.5 seconds of the initial cast, this is when everything is going to proc simultaneously. So if you can get Crystal Frags off while this is about to proc with Endless Fury on them, it hits for a ton of damage. Never spam cast this. This is going to be, you need to keep it on your target at all times, but never let it fall off. Once it procs for the third time, recast it. Crushing Shot, this is for decent amount of damage, but is mainly there for the off balance and stun, because you do more damage to enemies that are off balance as a Mag Sorc. So if you can keep them off balance with Crushing Shot, perfect. If they're casting ability or channeling ability, like if somebody's running Soul Assault for whatever godly reason they're running that, you hit them with Crushing Shock, it interrupts it, stops it, you're safe, they waste the ultimate. Great proc. If you also, any kind of ability, if they're casting shields, whatever it is, you can always interrupt it. Great thing to use, this is your main spammable. So basically, it's going to start off with Haunting Curse, Endless Fury, spam Crushing Shock to Crystal Frags proc, activate Crystal Frags, back to Crushing Shock. After 4 seconds, reapply Endless Fury, and so on and so on and so on and so on. If you get an ultimate up, use Eye of the Storm. I use this morph over the other one. The other one does more damage, but this one stays on you. If you cast an ability on the ground, they can just roll out of it. Game over, ultimate over, you're not doing no damage. Eye of the Storm. It's AoE plus single target in one sense, because if you're doing just duels, yes, it's single target. It is fairly expensive, but it does do a ton of damage. Now, if you want to run a Lightning Staff on the front part instead of a Flame Staff, that's fine. Flame does more outburst damage. Lightning Staff keeps the duration longer, so if you want to not being able to cast it all the time, by all means, use a Lightning Staff instead of a Flame Staff, you're good. Back bar, this is going to be your get out of jail free card, get me the hell out of dodge, heal me, and keep me safe bar. Also has a stun on it, so if you're in trouble, this is where you go. Streak is a stun, so if you're finding your health being dropped really quick and you need to get the fuck out of dodge, use Streak. Don't spam cast it. Run as you're going, and keep up Boundless Storm to keep your speed buff. But use Streak to get out. It also acts as a stun. So whatever reason, if there's somebody in front of you and you need to go that way, use Streak. It will stun them. You can get out of it fairly quickly. Dark Conversion. This is a sustain. So if the fight is prolonged and you're running yourself out of resources and your pots aren't available at the moment, so you just used one but you still need some resource, use Dark Conversion if you have the stamina to use it. It costs stamina. As Magica Sorcerer, you do get stamina recovery by default just for using abilities. Dark Conversion will give you back a ton of health. So it's a heal, 8.494 health, and 3,600 Magica instantly. And an additional 2,380 Magic over 20 seconds. That's not a lot. So realistically, this is like a, oh god, give me some magic back type deal. Right? Like if I use a shitload of Magica, you can see it's regenerating fairly quick. Well, like, it takes forever for me to burn this down. Like, a lot of time. I don't know. But like, this is me spam casting my way up. But if I need magic back, I can just spam this, because I'm getting a lot of resource back. Plus, then when you have a pot active, increase your mag recovery, and so on, so on, so on. Basically, a sustain buff. Use it when you need to. You don't need to have it active all the time. Amulet, this is our second shield, and we are using a different one other than Hardened Ward because you can stack them. If you use Hardened Ward on both fires, you're going to be relying on that shield and that shield alone. If you run Amulet and Hardened Ward, my entire health bar is covered. This is a almost 10k shield. It will be 10k in Cyrodiil with the max health because it's capped at that. But this allows you to basically shield stack, so if you're really low and you need to get the hell out, or you're trying to let rapid regen kick in, use Amulet on the back bar so you can shield stack, so that gives you a little bit more survivability. This is in the Light Armor skill tree, by the way. Rapid regen's the only Resto Staff ability we're actually using, but it's insanely powerful. We're using Rapid Regen because we're not going to be healing everybody else in the group. We're going to try to heal us. So it heals for basically almost our entire health bar in 5 seconds. That's nuts. It's a lot of heals really fast, over 5 seconds. So realistically, if they can't burn through 10k damage, and for whatever reason your health bar has already dropped because this failed or you just couldn't burst them down fast enough, which odds are you will be, but in the dire need you do need it. Cast this, then this. Or either way, you can do it this one first if you like, and then keep up Amulet. That will basically shield your health bar while it heals. So you're never going to be at 0 health when you activate this, so you're going to activate Rapid Regen or Amulet, whichever one. I prefer to go Rapid Regen then Amulet, or Amulet then Rapid Regen, depending on the situation. Go Amulet to shield your health so you're not taking more damage, and activate this real quick and then go back to this. Keep it active while you regen. Then if you have to, activate Dark Conversion to keep your magic up because you're burning through it pretty quick with Amulet. Boundless Storm, this is an AoE. It does do damage if you're up close. Not a whole lot. I mean, there's only 7,600 shock damage every second for 23 seconds though. It also gives you major resolve, increasing your physical spell resistance by a lot, 5280 to be exact. Activating this grants major expedition for a brief period, increasing your movement speed by 30% for 4 seconds. So basically, you run really fast. So this is what I mean by get me the hell out of dodge. Keep this up, streak when you can, just to maneuver. Also too, if you're kiting people, this works really well. You can get around an area really fast in a short amount of time. Helps from getting from point A to point B, and it really is effective. Ultimate on this bar is the Summon Storm Atronach. You can choose whichever morph you like. Single target damage, bear that in mind. So if you're running a Zerg, you probably don't want to be running this. You probably want to run something like, I don't even have it unlocked, but you could probably run the Mage's Guild if you have it in Meteor. Or you could also, if you want to, for health sustain, you could also use Negate Magic. You can morph this to whichever one you like. Basically, it's an oh shit button and shuts everything down in the area. So if you've got a ton of people, like it's a 28 meter range and an 8 meter radius. It's not a big radius, so watch where you're using it. Also, this one heals you. So 1400 health every 0.5 seconds. It lasts 12 seconds. Decent heal. or you can go for the damage. Personal preference. You can either go for the heal. If you find you need more sustain and more heals, if your group doesn't have any heals, then go with the absorption field. If you want to do more damage to anybody in that area, say if you're taking a keep or somebody's trying to capture a flag in battlegrounds, then use suspended field or suppression field to do that extra damage. Personal choice, whichever one you feel, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Storm Mage, you're not going to be going for duels or anything that's just individual target damage. Chanting points, we're going to do this real quick. 6/6 Warlord, 19 Sprinter, 1 in the Siphoner, just so they have the extra cleanse. You don't need anything other than that. 75 in Arcanist, 63 in Tenacity, 13 in Shadow Ward, 28 in the Tumbling, 61 in Elfborn, 22 in the Blessed, 48 in Spell Erosion, 64 in the Element Expert, 2 in the Staff Expert, just for the little extra damage from your light and heavy attacks. 68 for Master at Arms. You can bump this as high as you feel. You want your Crystal Frags hitting as hard as possible. I don't have enough CP yet. I'm still a little low. Nothing into this tree. You don't do a lot of damage over time, so I didn't see the point. That only works with stamina abilities, precising as physical penetration, which you don't have. You're not doing any physical and poison, so you're not really going to need any of this. 51 Ironclad, 5 in the Spell Shield, 61 in Resistant, 37 Hardy, 31 Thick Skin, 49 Elemental Defender, and 28 in the Bastion, 4 in a Quick Recovery. And you can put whatever you like in these extra trees, your personal choice. That is pretty much it, I think. If I forgot anything, feel free to leave it in the comments. But I will show you a quick rotation here now to try and get somewhat of an idea. So, basically, you're going to start the fight with your shield up, obviously, Battling Storm, keep your buffs up, activate the Hardened Ward. I think it's Hardened Ward. This always screws me up. Hardened Ward. Activate Hardened Ward, then you go into Haunting Curse. Crystal Frag is already proc, so you hit the Crystal Frag, then the Crushing Shot, Mage's Wrath, and you basically rinse and repeat. Weave a light attack in between until your second proc. When it does, activate it again. Keep your buffs up. That's basically it. Like, Crystal Frag's hitting for quite a bit. If you have the ability to, keep your Liquid Lightning up or your Mage's Wrath up. Rinse and repeat. So I'm basically just spamming Crushing Shot to get Crystal Frag's proc. Crystal Frag's proc, activate Crystal Frag's, light attack in between, Haunting Curse up. When you see their health start to drop or you think that your Mage's Wrath has fallen off, by all means hit it. You can bar swap this to get your Magica back, heavy attack in between if you still feel free. Really, it's up to you. Figure out what rotation works best for you, but I mean, I found that was the best way to keep the damage up, keep the pressure on, so they have to force themselves to kind of play a little more defensively. But the best defense is a good offense. So if it was me, which I do this quite a bit, this is my main PvP character, that does hit for quite a bit. So yeah, that's basically the build, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.